time once again for some Nailsin ratings. Well, in the world of our pop culture, of course, the popular British sci-fi character Doctor Who, after over 50 years of being a male character, suddenly transformed into a woman. In this era of gender identity, the pressure was on, and if you didn't turn Doctor Who into a woman, well, that's only proof that you're a misogynist. So they had to do it, and I'm leaning that was more of the reason why. Now, recently, there's been a lot of gender swapping in popular characters, and there's more to come. Most notably was, of course, the Ghostbusters movie, and, well, you saw how well that turned out. And soon they're working on a version of The Lord of the Flies with an all-female cast of being, all girls instead of all boys, like the novel. And there will also be a Rocketeer movie. Now, the Rocketeer in the early 90s was a movie that I don't think it did very well, but it's a very good film. I do recommend it. And it's based on a great comic series by the late Dave Stevens, which is really cool. But this one will be called Rocketeers, I believe. So it'll be a team of Rocketeers, and they will all be women. So, because if you don't, again, you're a misogynist. So there'll be that. And with Doctor Who, it's a little different from these other properties because it fits within the science fiction of the story, where the Doctor is this alien, if you don't know anything about it, who has this ability to regenerate his body when it's damaged, he's sick or injured or what have you. And he regenerates, and he completely transforms and changes his appearance and everything when it happens, and it of course changes his brain too as it's reforming, and so his personality is altered and what have you, all this type of thing. Basically, it's because the actor playing the part got tired and wanted to move on or what have you, and then when the new guy comes in, that's how they explain that. But it works, and it's been a part of the story all this time. He never changed gender. This is a brand new concept that's come in. There's people claiming it was established before. They're full of crap. It was not. There was a joke by one of the actors. There was an old producer saying it might be a cool stunt to bring life into the show. The original series was canceled in '89. It was later revived in 2005. And the 2005 new series is the one that's been throwing out hints that gender swapping can happen, and then they did it. They had several characters who did it from his race, and now he's doing it. And so they've introduced this new female character who will be in the new season of Doctor Who. All right, so but that's within the science fiction of the character's ability to regenerate, so it fits in with its overall continuity. I mean, you can fit it in anyway, and now, will it work? Will people watch the show? The ratings have been bad on the show already. It probably won't. The curiosity factor will give it a boost, but they'll probably eventually have to go back to a man. Or the show might just take another rest. But anyway, it's the one character where this sort of thing fits in with it. These others don't. There's no gender swapping for Ghostbusters and what have you, and certainly not for James Bond. The current actor playing of Daniel Craig has made mention that he's kind of tired of the role. This next movie will probably be his last, and so somebody caught up with producer Barbara Broccoli of the Broccoli family, which has been running the whole James Bond franchise since its inception, based on the Ian Fleming novels. And she was approached about this by saying, hey, what's the possibility of the next Bond actor being black or a female actor? To which she responded, hey, anything's possible. These films tend to reflect the times, so we always try to push the envelope a little bit. Reflect the times. As far as I know, women have always been a part of humanity since it began. And black people doubly so, because since apparently life came out of Africa. This statement doesn't make any sense. It's just like along with the Doctor Who thing. We're finally coming into the 21st century. Yeah, you want to get to the 21st century, you live long enough to live in it. And here you are. Congratulations. It's just one of these dumb things, but this is some sort of monumental social change progress. of swapping a gender of a character or its race or what have you. Basically, what you do here is you're admitting you don't have what it takes to make a female spy character on her own. You don't have what it takes to be original about it. You don't have what it takes to make a black espionage character on their own. So it's lazy and pathetic. You want to use the built-in audience for a brand that's established for decades and try to make this work, and it won't. Like I said, Doctor Who has the possibility of working within its framework, but these other properties, it's just not going to work. It's going to die, and it's not, and it's pointless to do. You want to make a new character, a new espionage female character, even within the James Bond universe. You can try that. Everybody wants their own little expanded franchise universe these days. So you could introduce a character within the Bond movies, and off she goes on her own adventure, and see what happens. See what you can do. Use creative ability to sell this, and don't make stupid mistakes like having a beautiful supermodel with toothpick limbs go up against a 250-pound, 6'7" Navy SEAL, and she goes up against him with her fist. No, that's not going to work. You need to make her more clever on how she takes this guy down, some other way like that. Physically, no, she's not going to be able to do it. It's just, unless she's like Wonder Woman and has superpowers. By the way, when I sat through Wonder Woman, never once did I sit there and say, man, I wish she was a man. Yeah, no. You see, I can't relate to her. No. I enjoyed the adventure for what it was. Now, James Bond, what is it? It's a male fantasy, escapist male fantasy, and that's what it is. If you're a woman who enjoyed the James Bond movies, great. But do you really have to have it, James Bond, be a woman in order for you to fully appreciate what it is? I don't think so. Unless, of course, you're a total misandrist and you love to screw around with men's toys. And that's basically what we've got here. We're all the way back in kindergarten, boys versus girls, which is what these arguments are really all about. Pretty sad and pathetic, but there we are. Now, other discussions were, could he be black? That gets a little closer to possibly being something that might work. Of course, Idris Elba was the actor that was tossed around a lot. But it's still tweaking from the original intent of the creator of the character and what it's been for decades. So it's harder to do that sort of thing. But if you really got to do something, then yes, that might work. And Idris Elba now hasn't had any big hits on his own, but he seems an adequate actor, and I think he probably could, given the right elements and the right people behind him, to give him an action franchise. But does it have to be James Bond? It could be something original and new and make it his own. Whereas this, it's just always going to be this gimmicky thing, and he's the Black Bond. It's just the wrong way to go about it. And the idea that cheap gimmicks like this is some respectable gesture towards healing past wounds of past racial and sexual injustices is insulting. It's just, you're not thinking this through. It's just a bunch of nya type attitudes in this sort of thing. So more power to you if you want to create new characters and explore that, and explore it organically and intelligently about how that would work. Idris Elba being an espionage character could be very similar to James Bond. A female espionage would be a little different because men and women are different. So you handle that the way you can, and you do it intelligently and work it out, rather than just being a slap job artist here and there and acting like, oh, now I deserve accolades because I did some great social justice change here. You didn't. You're quite insulting to the whole concept, and you shouldn't. So James Bond is not Doctor Who. Neither is Sherlock Holmes or any of these other male characters that have already been pretty well established. New characters, new ideas, that's something I can respect. And I would look forward more to that for people in the creative community. So, no stars out of 5 for this female James Bond concept. No, that's not a good one. Not gonna fly. No, Doctor Who maybe, but James Bond, no. And I mean, what are you gonna call her? Jamie Bond, I guess. I don't think you can call her Jane Bond because in researching this story, apparently there was a series of porn movies called Jane Bond. So I don't know that that's where you want to go. But there you go, a female Bond already done in the porn world. So, yeah, there you go. Well, thanks for listening. Hey, please subscribe. Why not? I'll do more of these crazy videos. And look down into the description below where you can toss some love towards Mr. Nailsin. It'll go to producing more Nailsin programs, including my free podcast on RadioMisfits.com, The Mr. Nailsin Show. Brand new episodes every Saturday. So check it all out, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening and watching.